What we call a synergy, a public-private mix. So the government has come up with
synergy of a public-private mix. Can I steal that? By
certainly,
the way,
I don't know if it's a new energy, but it's certainly a synergy. But what we're doing is that we have a nonprofit corporation that's raising about $2 million, and it's raised $200,000 towards that $2 million. We've made application to the federal government for federal appropriations, which we're pending. Congressman Payne and Senator Menendez have co-sponsored that legislation as well, and that we're at $2.7 million towards our goal of $5 million. So we're well on our way. In addition, on May 1st, we'll be having a fundraiser at the Ritz Theater, as you well know. Lovely, wonderful theater. It's used for movies. Woody Allen's used the theater. It's a great Elizabeth landmark. And this will be a band from Nickelodeon called the Dirty Sock Fun Time Band. It'll be about an hour. Tickets are $15. And you can go to SonyTicket.com to get tickets. This is hosted by our friends at the Child Advocacy Center, Union County, and we're hoping to raise some money towards the building construction.
And the date of that is?
May 1st. It's a Saturday from about 10 to 11. And any child who's between 5 and 10, we think will have a wonderful time. Also, Joe from Blues Clues, his name is Donovan actually, he'll be there as well to entertain the children.
And the run on Sunday, you get actively involved. You actually recruit people to run as well, right?
My goal is always to see if we can come up with 100 runners and 200 walkers. So year in and year out, closing that deal is hard to find those runners. Prosecutors have restrictions in fundraising, so I'm an information conduit. So I refer to
I apologize then. Okay.
I pass on information.
I forgot about that. Don't tell your boss I was accused of raising money.
That's okay.
For the Child Advocacy Center.
What I do is communicate to people information both in our office and outside our office. And this is a lovely brochure that the City of Elizabeth puts out through the Star Ledger, and it's a wonderful item that we borrowed from the New York City Marathon. Coworker has run the New York City Marathon for years and told me they had a kids run, so I thought this would be a great idea for us. And so for the last 3 years we've had a kids run. It's about 100 yards. The young ones go about 10 feet, the older ones go maybe 100 yards, but it's a great time for everybody, the runners, the walkers, and for the kids as well, so it's a wonderful event.
And Faye, how do people get involved with your foundation? I mean, you know, do you recruit volunteers? John's folks are all, you know, trained investigators for the most part, but how about you?
Oh, absolutely. People can go to our website, www.aidsresource.org, and they can actually download an application. We need volunteers to work in our home with the children, especially people who may be bilingual. So we're looking for volunteers and staff as well. And then there are fundraising activities. Just recently, a young man went to our website and decided he wanted to do something for children with AIDS, and he organized a fundraiser in Central Park for our little home and for our foundation. So we encourage people to go, whether they want to do hands-on or want to participate in supporting a fundraiser or some other event.
You know, Faye, in 25 years, and this might be a sad question, but have you had any kids survive that long and come back? Or are they?
Yes, we have. In fact, I was invited to be a delegate to a conference at the UN, invited by the Child Welfare League of America. And the last workshop at the conference was a workshop organized by young people around the world. All of the people on the panel were under 25 years of age, and these were people who were working in the field of AIDS. And at the end of the workshop, they opened it up for questions, people in the audience, and a young man stood up to talk about his work with adolescents with AIDS. And I looked at the young man, and he was one of our St. Clair's babies.
That's a fascinating story, and I just want to thank you for all your work and your service there at St. Clair's House.
Thank you.
Enjoy going there on occasion. My daughter's now a little older, so I'm not bringing over formula and stuff that I used to do. But John's got a little one, so he can bring over the extra formula that doesn't work.
Thank you so much.
And John, before we close, do you work with the sponsors at all in getting involved in the bringing people into the run?
The Department of Health in the City of Elizabeth is actually responsible for that, and they do a wonderful job. All the funds raised go for rent stabilization, so when a suspect is arrested, we need to stabilize families. And through our Victim Witness Fund, this money goes to help pay the rent, stabilize our caseload and our family's life.
So you have to work with some volunteers on an occasion as well. I mean, especially in if there's a stabilization factor.
We have a all-volunteer board, Friends of the Child Advocacy Center of Union County, and everyone's a volunteer. From Vic Ritchell, who also works at Trinitas and Union County College, to Gary Horan, who's president of Trinitas, the sheriff, and a wide array of interested people from around the county who come and volunteer their time. We also thank the city for its loyal support across all these years.
John, I want to thank you for your work on behalf of children throughout our county, and especially those that are extremely vulnerable, and you do a great job, and we look forward to working with you on the run on Sunday. And Faye, we thank you for all of your work with young children with AIDS and also other difficult disabilities.
Thank you.
For Dr. Faye Zeland and John Esmeraldo, I'm Chris Bolwage. If you want to participate in the run, we'll see you in front of Union County College on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.